All men are incels. The bitter truth. Let's check it out.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is All Men Are Incels. Obviously a provocative title, but I do think I can make a strong argument in its defense. Let's get to it. In case you've been living under a rock, incel is short for involuntarily celibate. Basically, an incel is a man who wants to have sex, but can't seem to find a willing participant. While I don't think the term was originally derogatory, it's definitely used as a pejorative today, especially by women. In fact, it seems as though every man women disagree with these days is either an incel or a misogynist, or both, I suppose. They might not be mutually exclusive. In any case, it's generally not meant as a compliment. Now, leaving aside the wondrous coincidence that the only men who disagree with women happen to be hateful and or unattractive, I must admit that I find the use of this term, incel, absolutely baffling as an insult. And it really only takes a little bit of effort to understand why. While it's clearly the case that some men are more attractive than others, no man who has ever existed has been universally attractive to women at all times. I mean, even Greek mythology is full of stories of gods being turned down by mortal women. And this means that every man, irrespective of how handsome or famous or powerful or charming he might be, has been frustrated in his sexual desire at some point in his life. Even the most successful Casanovas don't bat 1,000 100% of the time. In fact, if there is a single experience that binds together all men of all cultures, it is having one's sexual interest rebuffed. And in that moment, that man is an incel. He wants to have sex, but he doesn't have a willing partner. While unattractive men might experience this more frequently, even the most attractive men cannot have sex whenever they want, however they want, with whomever they want. If such a thing is possible, it is a privilege that only beautiful women enjoy. In any case, it doesn't take a genius to understand that when a man's sexual interest is rebuffed, there are really only two possible outcomes. Either the man is going to be, at least with respect to that relationship, involuntarily celibate, or the woman is going to be, shall we say, involuntarily sexual. Like, those are the only two options. And I think we're all going to agree that the first outcome is preferable to the second. Given this understanding, I can't wrap my head around the impulse to denigrate those who choose to uphold the first option. Like it or not, when a man is involuntarily celibate, what is he necessarily doing? Well, among other things, he is acknowledging the right of a woman to consent to sex, and he is respecting the foundations of civil society. He is choosing to frustrate his will rather than impose it on another. And we're like collectively agreeing that that is something to be mocked and derided. That is the real difference between men. The distinction does not come down to those who are rebuffed and those who aren't. As I've already said, the latter class of men don't exist. But to those who are governed by law and human decency and those who aren't. Like, if there has ever been a man who has never been an incel, it was probably Genghis Khan. That's not because no woman ever told him no. I'll say that again in a slightly different way. The reason Genghis Khan might not have been an incel was not because women found him universally attractive. It's because he didn't take no for an answer. Let that sink in. If you appreciate the insights on this channel, I would highly encourage. It should go without saying But disparaging those who choose not to violate others is very, very stupid. And this is a choice. This isn't a topic that's very comfortable to discuss, but it is one that we benefit from remembering from.
It's one of the like main it's like the criticism you get, or if you disagree with, let's say, like a woke liberal like feminist type woman, I guarantee you're gonna hear the words, oh, you're an incel, or you sound like an incel. This has happened to me, man. It's like I disagreed with on topics of like human nature and like dynamics, and I tried to like kind of explain how the world really works between humans, and some of these women just are not having it, man. They start throwing out these insults, and I heard it once. It was like a woman said to me, "Oh, you kind of sound like an incel," and I'm not kidding. 1 week later, she heard me smash a woman. Yeah, she did. She heard me have sex with a woman. So it's like, I wonder if her like, I don't know, a wiring fucking malfunctioned, or maybe she went through like a reset or something. She refused to accept the reality that, yes, I just smashed a woman, but you called me an incel. Like, how the fuck does that work? Yeah.
Time to time, comfortable to discuss, but it is one that we benefit from remembering from time to time. You may have heard that women are the gatekeepers of sex. I've said it myself on this channel. However, the part that isn't often said is that women are the gatekeepers of sex by convention. Women are not naturally endowed with that privilege. It is not in their nature or in their biology to unilaterally prevent sex from occurring in the event that they don't want it. If it were, then non-consensual sex literally wouldn't be possible. From a physical perspective, a woman's body, like any person's body, is, as Epictetus would say, subject to a superior force. And when it comes to physical force, the average man is more powerful than the average woman. All of this is to say that women are not the gatekeepers of sex by nature. They are the gatekeepers of sex by convention. They are the gatekeepers of sex because we've gotten together as a society by creating a structure of order and establishing a system of laws. And the basis of this social contract is fundamentally the voluntary surrender of certain natural rights in return for protection against those same rights being enacted against us. This is Hobbes's Leviathan, and it is the only legitimate basis of civil society. And we've agreed that no woman should be made to have sex against her will because, I suppose, among other things, we wouldn't enjoy the same experience being foisted upon us. So when someone in possession of superior natural force is frustrated in his desire and chooses to abide in the frustration of his will instead of forcing his will on another, congratulations, we have civilization. He may not like it in the moment, but he is choosing to respect the law and the woman's right to choose, which is what we want him to do. But rather than praise his restraint or sympathize with his frustration, or, I don't know, simply pass over the situation without comment, we've somehow agreed that this man is a...
Yeah, sometimes it's so unnecessary to like comment like that. Oh, you're an incel. It's like, that's kind of a good thing in that scenario, in that situation. Because what is the alternative? Like,
creepy loser? Like, meant we've somehow agreed that this man is a creepy loser? Like, make it make sense, people. Listen to me very carefully. If there is a recipe for making someone villainous, it is precisely this: punish him for doing the right thing. And that's precisely what we're doing when we mock these men. I do not advise disparaging people for following the law and respecting the rights of others. Like, we don't have to celebrate these people just for following the law, but insulting them for doing so is the height of stupidity. Like, imagine a businessman who sells luxury goods insulting a crowd of people standing out front of his store for being too poor to buy his products. Ha! You pathetic losers! You'll never be able to afford anything nice. Like, how do you think that would go over? Now,
a brick is gonna be thrown through the window. Like, what?
I don't think people should steal. I don't think people should riot. But I think we can all agree that that man is either absolutely oblivious or tempting fate in a very foolish way. It's kind of like Marie Antoinette saying, well, let them eat cake. And we all know how that ended up for her. Again, all men are incels at some point. It's not just the unattractive ones. Like, look at the media. Every day, it seems as though another rich and famous and handsome and powerful man is accused of non-consensual sex. Most likely because he felt his status entitled him to sex, and he believed he could violate the social construct without consequence. Women can and absolutely do turn down attractive men as well. But insulting the men who abide in that frustration instead of imposing their will on women is as stupid as it is tasteless. That's my take. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And please.
Common sense. But yeah. Like, what the fuck? This shit is so, it's so obvious. And the thing is, I love how he like puts it. Like, a lot of people understand when he explains stuff. I need to get better at this kind of stuff too. Listen to me very carefully. If there is a recipe for making someone villainous, it is precisely this: punish him for doing the right thing. This will go down as one of the few words I will never forget in my life. I've been baffled too. Women are insulting men for being unattractive. These are the same people that are outraged if men call them hogs or insult their appearance. If a woman calls you an incel, an appropriate response would be, yes, I am not a... Ooh. I always found it contradictory that women would call men an incel. Those same women, I assume, would not like men to use women just for sex, but they'll insult a man for his ability to use women for sex. Yeah, it's like some of these women, like how do you say it? They like objectify women, or it's like what the fuck is happening, man? I am often confused by how incel is an insult used most of the time by women. Doesn't it objectify them? They are calling themselves status objects. He pieced it together too, huh? Anyway, boys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This one was like really good. I hope more people fucking watch this shit and learn. Yeah, anyway, I catch you boys on the next one. Take care of yourself.